Here we go. Welcome, Rockport-Fulton Pirates fans, to another PC podcast episode. This is episode number 22, and this evening we will be talking Rockport-Fulton Lady Pirates Volleyball. I got the crew with me again this Tuesday evening. I have the Z-Man, Johnny Zavala. How you doing, Z-Man?
Doing good.
And we also have Coach Steve Cantu. Coach, how you doing?
Glad to be here, guys.
All right. And as I said, the last 2 weeks, we've been talking football, of course, just around the corner with football. So we've had our head football coach, Coach Cyber. And then last week, we had our defensive coordinator, Coach Robinson. So we kind of wanted to switch from football and talk a little bit of volleyball. So this evening, we have Rockport-Fulton Lady Pirates head volleyball coach, Mark Jeffery, on the podcast. Coach, how you doing this evening?
Doing good, guys. Thanks for having me.
Coach, thank you for taking some time to talk to us. We wanted to talk a little bit of volleyball. I know that the expectation is high for us this year. We've got a lot of girls coming back from the last year's playoff team, and we're excited. We're going to be following the girls, talking about them as we do the football players on our Wednesday podcast. And so we're really excited. We wanted to bring you in and kind of talk a little bit about and let the community know who Coach Mark Jeffery is. And the guys got some questions. And then, of course, we want to kind of pick your brain a little bit and see just what you think, what the expectation is and how far can our girls go this year. We're very excited. So, Coach, if you're ready, I'm going to pass it over to the guys. And they've got some questions for you. Coach Cantu, I'll start with you first. You got any questions for Coach Jeffery?
Yes, sir, I do. Yes, sir. Coach Jeffrey, I'm very glad to meet you here on this forum. I've admired your coaching style and abilities from across the way for quite some time now. Watching you over at the softball field, I've yet to catch a volleyball game. Please excuse me, but I've always admired your coaching styles and your training techniques and stuff like that I've seen. So I'm happy to have you. A few questions, Coach. I kind of wanted to start off just to give the public a chance to get to know Coach Jeffery a little bit more. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. Like I said, I just watched you coach from afar. I haven't met you personally or got a chance to know you. So I did have to do a little fact checking myself and delve into the internet, the good old internet, and looked up and found out a little bit about Coach Jeffery. And Coach Jeffery, I gotta say, I mean, we all appreciate as a town what you're doing for the volleyball team. But I gotta say, probably baseball is your first love. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I played baseball from a young age, and I grew up in Canada, so it was baseball, volleyball, men's volleyball, and hockey. That's kind of what you did. So, but baseball provided the most opportunity, so it's definitely number one on the list.
Yeah. So, guys, I mean, just to give you guys a little bit of a heads up, and we could start off in his high school ranks. If you don't mind, Coach Jeffery, read off some of these numbers. You'd be all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So in high school, in his sophomore, junior, and senior year, he was named to the All-Star team. His junior and senior year, he was named MVP. Let's see. His senior year, they went 22-2. He led the team with a 487 batting average and 47 RBIs, and was captain his junior and senior year. So, I mean, his high school career, and we'll delve deeper because it gets better. Trust me. He was a phenom. I mean, he was a phenomenal baseball player. So, and that's something I did not know. I mean, obviously, you know, you see the coaching abilities, and you just know, hey, this guy knows the game. But, you know, until you do a little fact checking a little bit, you're like, shoot, this is why this guy at an early age, you know, had it all figured out. And his college numbers, like I said, they just jump at you. They jump off the page here. So 2010, let's see. So he started 50 games he went to Texas Western. Is that right, Mark?
That I went there for 2 years, played junior college ball there, and then I transferred to Tarleton State.
Tarleton, that's right. So in Tarleton State, started 50 games for the Texans, batted .333, was 162 at bats, 29 RBIs, had a .454 on base percentage. And this record right here, I'm sure you remember setting this record right here, Coach. Set the single season record with 22 hit by pitches.
When you can't
You
hit,
remember that?
you got to find a way on base.
Get on base, right? Now
Yeah.
that one, I kind of got a chuckle out of that one. That's like, hey, whatever it takes, right?
That's right.
Get on base. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I just marveled over and I text Gabriel early and I was like, dude, listen, you know, I'm not going to come out and ask Coach Jeffries about volleyball. I'm not too familiar with the sport, excuse me. But I did tell him, I was like, dude, this guy was a phenomenal baseball player, you know. We're so lucky to have you. One, the softball program is so lucky to have you. And man, I just cannot wait. I can't wait to see what the future brings for Coach Jeffries.
Appreciate it.
And Rockport. Yes, sir. Gabriel, I got a few more questions I'll come back to.
Yes, sir. Johnny?
Hey, Coach Jeffrey. Yeah, same here. Don't know much about volleyball and stuff like that. Always you and a softball diamond, you know, coaching Lydia and the girls down there.
Yeah.
So, you know, I always saw you, you know, you knew the game. It's obvious you knew the game out there. And this little background check that Steve brought up, you know, it was pretty impressive, So he kind of answered one of my questions as far as, you know, what college he went to was Tarleton State. He mentioned a couple stats in the high school. Where did you go to high school at?
I went to Sinclair Secondary School. It's a huge high school, like east of Toronto, Canada. It's an athletics school. I mean, we had some phenomenal athletes. So that I went and I played volleyball, baseball, and hockey for them, and was blessed to win a lot of games. So, but yeah, that's where I went. A long way from here.
I was about to say that's far from here. Totally different atmosphere there.
Yes.
Going to your volleyball here. Do you know your win-loss record for volleyball? I know you just started it.
Yeah, last year was the first year, and we finished 11-10, I believe, like right at 500. So it will definitely improve this year.
I sure hope so. I think we're all hoping for that to happen. You know, that 11-10. That sounds like a Dallas Cowboys record there. An 8.
Yeah,
Hey.
we lost a lot. We lost a lot of games to really, really good teams that went deep into the playoffs. That we played 1.5 good sets against, and it takes 3 to win a match. So we were right there all year. We couldn't quite get over that hump. But this year, with everybody we got coming back, we're going to be okay.
Yeah, that's what it helps. A lot of experience. It goes a long way. Coming from baseball to softball, of course, that wasn't too noticeable, but becoming a softball coach out there. I guess you kind of elaborated earlier, you know, but what made you become a volleyball coach?
I coached volleyball growing up. I played it in high school. I played club volleyball. Actually, my first scholarship offer was in volleyball.
Wow.
So I'm extremely familiar with the sport. And then when I was fortunate enough to get a job offer down here, I kind of we wanted to be in Rockport. I'd been here before and just really liked the area. So when I got into contact with Coach Seibert, he kind of said, would you want to coach softball and volleyball? And I, obviously thought about it a little bit because baseball was my thing. And finally I accepted it. And I mean, it's been a blessing. Softball is obviously a heck of a game. It's fast. It's different than baseball. And then to get back to volleyball after a long baseball career was really refreshing. I mean, I did miss being around the game. It's a pretty intense, fast-paced sport. So I definitely miss being around it.
Yeah, that's I didn't know you played volleyball in the past, so that's why I had that question for you. But when you elaborated about playing volleyball in high school over there, so basically that's all y'all had.
Yeah,
so
men's volleyball is really, really big in Canada. Just kind of like the West Coast, men's volleyball is real big. I mean, it's on the Olympics right now. It's a Texas thing, so I definitely get some weird looks when I walk into a gym as a volleyball coach in Texas, but
yeah, I guess so.
Hey.
I guess so.
Hey,
So
Hey, coach.
yes, sir.
Hey, but it's a welcome change, right? When you're playing volleyball, because volleyball obviously is an indoor sport, right? Getting out of that cold weather up there, ain't it?
Yes, absolutely. Into a heated gym for sure. There's only so many activities you can do in the winter up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Good deal.
So sticking with volleyball, who would be your toughest opponent in district?
It's going to end up being Sinton. The coach there does a good job. He lost a lot of talent, but he has some good young ones, and I think he just got a move in. That's pretty good. So they'll be good again. Last year we finished third. Calhoun finished second. They had a really good middle and a really good setter. The middle graduated, the setter's still there. But we were right with them. I mean, those matches could have went either way. We just came out on the wrong end last year. So Calhoun and Sinton for sure. Beeville wasn't bad last year. It'd be interesting to see what they have coming back. I think they lost their outside. I think she was a senior. But definitely Sinton and Calhoun. Those are weeks that are highlighted on the calendar.
So that I was gonna expand on that question, but you pretty well said it. I was gonna say, well, who are gonna be your top four? So I guess it's a Sinton, Beeville, and Port Lavaca.
Yeah, of course, that fourth spot can get interesting. I think last year Beeville and West Oso had a play-in game to get into the playoffs. So it gets close down there at the fourth, fifth spot.
Wow. So what are the tournaments that the volleyball team going to be playing in, and what do you hope to get out of the tournaments?
I mean, games. That's the first thing. Last year, COVID, we didn't have any tournaments. That's why we had to play 21 games last year when normally you play a lot. So I think that hurt us a little bit. It was my first year, the girls getting used to my coaching style because I hadn't coached some of them at all. A few of them I coached in middle school when I first got here. I was down at the middle school and I coached a few of them, but some of them I'd never coached before. So them getting used to me, it took a little bit longer than I would have liked. So games is a big one. We play in the first one's in Aransas Pass. We usually play in the Corpus Christi Spike Fest, but they shrunk the tournament down a little bit. So we had to find a different tournament. Then we go to Sinton, which is always a good tournament. There's a lot of good teams there. And then we play will be in Goliad, which is another really good tournament. Obviously Goliad's there. They go to state. It seems like every year in volleyball. So they'll be there and a few other good teams. So those are the three tournaments. And I mean, just playing as many games as possible before we get into district and it starts to count.
Yeah, that is a good point. I mean, just going into district, man, you need all that, it's just experience, and you said it perfect, they don't know your old routine and stuff like that. And yeah, I know Coach Jeffery could get it done. That's all I got, Gabriel.
I got another one, Coach. So you coach softball and volleyball. As an athlete, how do those two sports compare? I mean, could you slide in, a standout softball player slide her into volleyball and just, how quick is that pickup? I mean, do they translate to one another?
That's a good question. I mean, it depends on the kids. Like you got Elena Garcia who plays right field for us and plays right side for us. So it can be done. I wouldn't say it's common. You see differences in the type of kids that you get in each one. But absolutely. I mean, especially in a 4A school, you're going to take good athletes regardless of like we're athlete hunting here. So it can be
right. Yeah.
The crossover, you don't see it too much. I mean, I'm trying to think. Lauren Kelly did it. Lexi Gonzalez did it. Elena, obviously. I'm trying to think. I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but it's not. It's fairly uncommon.
So it's not easily done. So you just can't be a phenomenal athlete and think you could slide into a volleyball gym and just demand the respect. So I mean that's challenging. That's awesome. That's interesting to know. Go ahead, Gabe.
All right, Coach. So as I was saying, we have another member of ours that wasn't able to make it, but he did email me his questions for you. And his first question is, how many returning starters are coming back this year?
Every single one. We lost one senior last year, and she was a role player. She had a couple different things that she did for us. But in terms of the starting 7, I guess you would say, they're all coming back along with the ones that, the defensive substitutes that we have. So it'd be the same team.
Coach, last year, if I've got this correct, you guys went to the second round and lost to Wimberley. Is that correct? Which Wimberley ended up going to the state game. Is that correct? Wow. So this is really good for us, bringing everybody back, getting to the second round, playing a really tough Wimberley team that went all the way to state. Did Wimberley win the state, or did they lose?
They lost. They lost to, I don't remember who, someone from up in North Texas. But we played them the second round, and that was actually a really good match for us, not only at the time, but going into the future, because they hadn't lost a set in like a bunch of matches, and the second set we took from them. I mean, we played our best set of the year, and obviously losing is not fun. The last game of the year is the least favorite game of the year for any coach, unless you're a state champion. But it was really good for the girls for us as coaches to be able to tell them, you're right there. We've been telling you all year, you're right there, but now you saw it. I mean, they hadn't lost a long time, and we took one from them, and you could see in the girls' faces a little bit, they started to believe in themselves a little bit more. So hopefully that carries over into this year. That'll definitely be something we talk about in the preseason. But anyways, yes, it was Wimberley in the second round.
That's good. And then a follow-up question to that: are there any underclassmen moving up this year that will be a player to watch?
Well, we still have tryouts, so I guess we'll see what happens in tryouts. I don't know if we're gonna move anybody or not. We're kind of still undecided. We definitely have a lot of good ones that were on either freshman or JV last year. We have some good young talent, but when you lose one senior, it makes it a little bit tough. So we'll see what happens at tryouts. Obviously, we're going to put the best 12, 13, 14 girls together that we can and put the best product on the court that we can. So we'll see what happens after Tuesday. I guess that's the best answer.
Yeah. And Coach, I would also ask, last year, how well did our freshmen in JV do last year?
Well, Amanda Robbins, former Hibbs, she's coached JV now. I think this is going to be her 7th year. And I think she's in 7 years, she's probably lost 3 or 4 matches at the JV level. I mean,
wow.
Our JV team is always incredible. She does a great job. And then the freshman team, they did really good too. I think they lost 1 game last year. I took the schedule down, but I think they lost 1 match in district. And I think they might have lost one to Cal Allen. That was a really good freshman group that are going to move up to JVs or varsity, depending on what happens at tryouts. But freshmen and JV had very, very good years.
Wow, and that's good, Coach, because, when these seniors leave this year, man, these underclassmen, our middle school girls, they come up. And this is what we want to bring to the podcast, right, is we want to talk this year, not only about our varsity, but also our middle school and our underclassmen, because they'll be coming up. And it's good to let the community know what our future holds, what our coaches are doing. We didn't get a chance last year. We're definitely going to be talking about these freshman JV and middle class this year, just to get the people excited. I think our volleyball program has been good the last couple of years. I know you've only been here a short time, but prior to that, they were making the playoffs. I remember 2-3 years ago, they were going to, I think maybe one time they got to the third round, if memory serves it correct, and we're still getting there. So we're doing really good. And this is why we're going to follow, and we want to continue to bring and shed more light to our volleyball program. Coach, I got another question for you. What are your thoughts on the latest spike in COVID cases? And do you think that will affect this upcoming season?
I guess I'm not very news savvy. I don't really watch the news very much. So I hadn't really been following it too much. I had heard a little bit about it. I don't know. It's like I tell the girls, if we focus on what we can control, then we'll be okay. It's when you start focusing on things you can control that things can get away from you a little bit. So I don't think we're going to put that. It is what it is. We're going to follow the UIL rules and do whatever they tell us to do, and hopefully get a full season in this year.
We'll be there, Coach. Like I said, we are looking. We're going to be streaming. We talked to Coach Seibert. I know we have gotten permission that we can stream, but we don't want to do anything without permission from the coaches. That's what we do here. We get permission from the coaches versus what we want to do. We'll make sure everybody's on the same page, and if they give us permission, we'll be down there definitely for football. We plan to commentate a little bit. We don't know a lot about volleyball, but we're going to learn this year for sure. So next year we'll be ready to go. But we definitely do at least want to stream the games there for the people that can't make it. I know you guys play Tuesdays and Fridays. So definitely we're going to be there. And then on Wednesday, we'll be, breaking down the games and then previewing the upcoming games until we get back the next following Wednesday. So we're excited. It sounds, and I've heard last year that this program was good. And when it ended, I heard that next year, all these girls are coming back. So we already knew who was coming back. We just had to get with the coaches and shed some light to these girls. They deserve it, Coach. All of our athletes do. And hopefully this year we can continue to get better and shine light on all the sports, powerlifting, softball, baseball. Our soccer programs were really good this past year as well. They made it to the playoffs. So, we want to be able to do that, and hopefully we'll be able to. And it starts with volleyball and football. So we're excited to be here and covering the volleyball program. Johnny, I'll throw it back to you. Those were Tony's questions. Any other questions you got for Mark?
I don't right now.
Steve?
I do. All right, Coach. So I'm a pin you against the wall here. All right. State championship, softball or volleyball? Which one would mean the most to you? Gotta pick one.
I think volleyball.
Awesome.
I think head coach, but either way, you can't go over a state championship's a state championship. I don't care what it's.
Yes, sir. I don't care what it's in. Yeah. Yeah. So, no, man, that's awesome, man. Coach, it was so good to, learning all these things about you. And I thought I'd just have fun with that one and see watch you sweat a little bit. But hey, you went straight to it. I like that about you, Coach. I like that about you. Straight shooter. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I'm the head coach of this team. It'd mean more to me to win this one right here. I love
yes,
that.
Sir.
I love that. So, Coach, you talked about Lena being one of your returners. What are some of the other names of the girls that in your lineup?
Well, let's see. We have 3 setters, which is, you know, very often. I think a lot of schools in our area are lucky if they have one good one. And we got 3 good ones. In Michaela Molina, senior, Sophia Byram will be a junior, and Messiah Hernandez will be a junior. And all 3 of them set last year, and all kind of do different things. You know, Michaela's defense is very, very good. Sophia is extremely offensive minded. She likes to score. Messiah is a really good blocker. She has great hands. She's smart. So that's nice. Offensively, I mean, we have a ton of weapons. We got 2 middles, the Kayleys, Kaylee Howell and Kaylee Skinner, that are both big, can take away some of the net, and they can score offensively too. On the outside, coming back, we got Faith No and Lauren Moore. Again, different. Faith's more of a power player. She likes to kind of put it on the floor a little bit. And then Lauren's just very, very smart. She makes smart choices offensively. In the back row, returning, we got Peyton Martinez will be the libero again. She did a great job last year, and she led our district in every statistic possible defensively. There's another player right there, Peyton.
Yeah.
But anyways, Peyton will be back. Jessica Scheibe will be back. She spent about half the year with us last year. She was just doing a great job on JV, and there came a time where she needed to be wearing a varsity uniform because we needed her help. And then Kelsey Pachick, there's another softball crossover. There's 3 right there. So
well, I mean, so I mean, I was listening. So oh my gosh. Kaylee No played some softball, right? I think maybe
Faith,
JV.
Yeah, I think Faith played maybe her sophomore year, maybe even been her freshman year. Yeah. So there's definitely some cross. Like I said, if they're athletes, they're athletes. But so there's a little bit. That's probably the most crossover we've had in a long time. Come to think of it.
Yeah.
But anyways, I mean, I just named the whole roster because volleyball is kind of interesting. You really use everyone on your roster. They all do different things, you know, like Jessica, Kelsey, and Peyton will only play the back row. That's all they do. They know that's their role. And they do it well. You know, they're good passers. They defend the backcourt well. And then you have like Kaylee Howell and Kaylee Skinner, you know, that their primary objective when they're on the floor is to put balls on the floor and then to block, you know, take away the net from the opponent's hitters. So that's kind of neat about volleyball. It's kind of like chess. You know, there's a lot of pieces. There's a lot of moving pieces, and getting them to be in the right place at the right time is extremely, extremely important. So that's probably why I like coaching so much too, is there's a lot of chess going on the entire game.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I tell you what, you've definitely gained a fan this year. I'll make it a point to get out there and catch some of you guys' matches. I'm interested to see how all that plays out. I mean, it's intriguing. I mean, the way you present the game to me, you know, an outside guy, if you can make somebody want to come play, I see why the girls are, you know, jumping up and down to play for you and rallying to you to play for you. You just made a guy come off the couch and say, I'm going to go catch some games this year, goddammit. So we appreciate all your work that you're putting in, Coach.
Thank you.
Gabriel? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Coach, I'd like to ask, I know you talked about Coach Robbins, Amanda Robbins, but can you talk about the other coach, you know, some of your assistants that have been, and how long have they been with you or here?
Sure. Yeah. So Coach Robbins, I talked a little bit about earlier. This is year number 7, all JV. I would venture to say one of the best JV coaches on staff. I mean, she does everything. She runs our weight room. She helps me out a ton. She's incredible. And then Coach Clark, who was actually the head coach here for a long time. I think she was the head coach here for 14 years. And then, you know, she just decided she wanted to do something else. And she asked me if I would take over for her. And I said, absolutely. So she stepped down to the freshman side, which not many freshman coaches in high school volleyball are veteran varsity volleyball coaches. So I'm extremely blessed. We have a really, really good staff. They're awesome. I mean, they keep me under control. They've kept me from getting a lot of yellow cards. They remind me to sit down every once in a while so I don't have a stroke on the sideline. They're great. They're a huge help, and the program would not function without either one of them. So I'm extremely grateful that they're there.
And Coach, what role do you guys play at the middle school with the volleyball girls there?
Well, this year I'm going to be in the athletic periods, which is nice. So it'd be me and Coach Robbins in the athletic periods. We're going to have 2 high school coaches in there to help with volleyball. So that's going to be really, really nice. We go to all the games. We usually find working the clock at the middle school games. Just so you know, it's nice to know what you have in your program. Obviously, you always want to stay connected to what's going on throughout your program. So anyways, I'm going to be in the athletic period. So it'll be me and Coach Robbins, and then Coach Reyes coaches the A teams down at the middle school level. She's been doing that forever. Obviously, you guys are familiar with Coach Reyes. So she'll be in there as well. So it should be a good format for building our middle school program up pretty well.
That's awesome, Coach, and we're excited. And like I said, we'll be catching a lot of your games, and we'll be definitely trying to get an interview with you after a game. I know if you winning, it's gonna be crazy, but we do want to get interviews with you after the game if possible, and you're available. We definitely are going to be bringing you back sometime throughout the season, maybe once or twice more. Who knows? Because we want to continue to keep our community aware of what's going on. And of course, we can then break down those games with you of what we see from a fan's point of view and how, and the way you're seeing it from a coach's point of view. I think they'd really like this. So we're definitely going to be inviting you back. I think we're going to have a good season, Coach. Everything I've heard is everybody's excited. We talked to Coach Robbins when we had her on, and we plan to bring her on sometime throughout the season, and Coach Clark as well throughout the season to talk about what the JV and freshmen are doing throughout the year. And then now I didn't know Coach Reyes was doing the junior high, but we're going to ask her to come on too. And we want to go ahead and get the community excited about the program. The only way to really do that, Coach, is to go all the way down, not just the varsity, go all the way down throughout the year so people know what's coming. We want people to get excited and pack that gym up. And, we've got a really good chance to win district this year. And I know that the girls appreciate it. When we put something on social media and you like it and good luck, goes a long ways. But if they can see the people out there, home here at the gym and pack it up, make some loud noises, because in football and softball, that noise travels, right? Because it's out. But in that gym, it stays there, man. So, the louder it can get, the better for us. And so that's what we're trying to do. That's another part of the Pirates Cove, is get the people excited. Come on now, support our athletes. Got some great athletes and some great coaches here. Man, if we could all just make it, every sport, make it to the playoffs, this would be a great year for us. And we're starting off with the football and volleyball team, have a really good chance to win district. So we're excited. Coach, before I let you go, I want you to talk about a little bit. I know you got tryouts coming out. You talked a little bit about it. You got it August 2nd and 3rd. You kind of want to mention a little bit of what you got going on, so the girls that want to try it will be out there.
Yeah, it'll be Monday and Tuesday next week, August 2nd and 3rd. The first session starts at 8. We'll be in the weight room from 8 till about 9. Then we'll head over to the gym and do some volleyball stuff till about 11:30-ish. 11:30, and then they'll take a 2-hour break, and then we'll be back in the gold gym at 1 o'clock for another 2-hour volleyball session.
Wow. Bring a lot of water, right, Coach? Bring a lot of water. You're going to need it. But the girls, we'll be uploading this video tomorrow, Coach, at 3 p.m. So people can tune in. If you guys want to be part of our volleyball team here, go on out on these days that Coach just talked about. And it'll be exciting. It's to me, it's great. Like I said, I don't know a lot about volleyball yet, but by the time mid-season rolls around, I'll know enough to bring you back and then break those games down. We'll make it a point, Coach. So we're excited about the season, and I think it's going to be great. We'll have 2 scrimmages. August 6th will be the first scrimmage at Toloso Midway. All three teams will be playing. I think it might start at 10 and at 2. I'm not sure exactly on the times, but the date, August 6th, it'll be a scrimmage, our first scrimmage of the season at Toloso Midway. And then the next day, August 7th, we'll be scrimmaging and we'll be traveling again to Goliad. We'll see these two scrimmages. And then our first home game is August the 10th here at home. Not sure exactly the time. Varsity plays at 6. Coach, how does that work? Who
Yes,
plays
it'll
first?
be JV and freshman at 5 in split gyms, green gym and competition, and varsity will play right after JV in the competition gym, about 6:15.
All right, so come on out. Let's cheer our girls on. This is going to be a great season for us, but they do need some support. We need to get that gym, pack it up, make it loud. We got a good chance to win district. We're going to be playing some tough competition. You heard Coach talk a little bit about the district. We've got some tough competition. So the more support these girls can get, the better our chances of winning district. So, Coach, we appreciate you taking some time to talk a little bit of volleyball. We will be asking you to come on back at some point throughout the season. We'll also be interviewing your assistants throughout the season. And, of course, we will be sending an invite to all of the varsity players at some point. We invite them, and hopefully they'll be able to come on to talk more volleyball. But before we end this podcast, I'll one more time send it over to my crew. Johnny, anything you want to add before we call it a night?
No, same thing here. I know a little bit about the volleyball, but hopefully I get into this year. This is something new to us, so it's gonna take a lot of effort between all of us to get into this. So, but this the same as Mr. Cantu over here saying, you pretty well set us to what, get out there and, watch y'all play and stuff like that. And guaranteed we'll be out there. We're all parts. We're all together. That's one thing that we want, is everybody unite as one. So once a part, always a part for us.
Yes, sir.
Coach Cantu?
Coach, I just want to say thank you again for joining us on this forum, and we appreciate all your time, but more importantly, all the efforts that you put in. Coaching 2 sports, and that's got to be. Where do you find the time? Like I'm looking at my wife because she's scratching her head, like, where do I find the time? So I understand it. I live that double, triple life just like you. I just, it's awesome though. It's you're doing a great job, Coach, and I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, and thank you guys. Mm-hmm. You guys are doing an awesome job. The kids are excited about it. My wife looks forward to it coming online. So you guys are doing a great job, and I know everybody, especially on the athletic side of the school, really appreciates it. So thank y'all.
Coach, and we've got some ideas, Coach. This isn't nothing. If we can actually reach the ultimate goal, it's exciting. I got a list of things that I want to do, but it takes a little bit of time. You got to build your team up, and so little by little we talk about things. But we definitely got some other ideas, to continue to get better throughout the season, and you'll probably really start seeing it when softball comes around, because that's when we really started everything. And so it takes about a year or so to really start getting going, but we've got a really good team right now. These guys, they've got a job and they come in. Steve coaches out. He works a full-time job, and then he's got to come out and coach, and he's got to come and jump on the podcast. So I don't know how he does it, but I'm glad they have him, because he's got a lot of passion for the Pirates, and and he's got a son that's a senior, so I know he's excited, and he doesn't miss a podcast. He comes in, and I don't know how he finds time to do research, but I'm glad that he does. So we're excited. We want.
Yeah, you must have done some digging, because I haven't heard those numbers in a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, I got them. I'll share it.
But to the fans, come on out. Pay attention. We're going to be talking on Wednesdays. We'll be breaking down. Wednesdays are the Pirates coach will be come on. It may extend it to about an hour and a half. Really go over an hour this year, because we're going to be breaking down the football games and the volleyball games. And at the same time, Tuesdays we'll have coaches come on, and then on Wednesday we'll have players. One week we'll have football players. Next week we'll have volleyball players. But we want to be able to get the people excited about volleyball. Like I said, we've got a really good chance, and we need to get really excited. And on Wednesdays we'll be breaking down all your games, coaches. We'll be breaking down all your games, Coach, and then we'll also be previewing the upcoming games every Wednesday. So, and we'll also critique a little bit, you know, and kind of from a fan's point of view on what we see. But definitely just know, Coach, that the Pirates Cove definitely supports you 100% in our volleyball program, and we're looking to have a really good year. So before I let you go, anything else you want to add?
No, nothing. Just again, thank you guys for everything you're doing, and yes, please do come out and support. I mean, volleyball is one of those sports where the girls are going to play a lot better if that gym gets rowdy. So the more rowdy the gym, the better we're going to play.
Well, we're definitely going to do our part, Coach. And what I think maybe the first week or second week, Coach, we'd like to be able to bring you back if we have time, or maybe the assistants, because what we want to do is we want to introduce each girl and their position that they play right as the season starts. And I know as a head coach, you may be busy, but we'll be sending you out an invite within the first week or second week to be able to have somebody come on just to kind of, you know, introduce the girls and what position they play in their number. But if you can't do it, then hopefully we can get one of your assistants to come on. But we definitely want to do that for both our football program and our volleyball program, Coach. So till next time, we'll be definitely inviting you again a few times throughout the season. But until then, Coach, good luck. We'll be back. We're backing you up 100%, man. And I wish you nothing but the best.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Coach.